Hello, my name is Dottie. As you can see, welcome to my channel. So basically, I just wanted to kind of share some knowledge that was bestowed upon me via a YouTube video. The video was from about 10 years ago. So, just now seeing it though, love that for me. I don't think it would have made sense to me about 10 years ago though, to be honest. I was still a kid, and I don't think I would have even taken it seriously. Like, I feel like the way that I absorb this kind of content now is monumentally different to the way that I did 10 years ago. And almost sometimes I wonder, how did I not see it this way? But then I like think about like the environment I was raised in, like kind of like the shit that I went through, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like I don't wonder so much anymore. Sorry, I just suddenly became super aware of my shirt, and it's kind of touching me, and I'm like, nah. Anyway, so I'm wearing my tiara. Funny story about this, and I'll try to make it super short anyway. I always say that, and then I like yap on forever, but that's just who I am. So basically, I was at work the other day, and there was this little girl that came into the like women's restroom, and I looked down at her, and she just came in. She looked just like me, like when I was a little kid. Like she like had these cute little crop, short little blonde bangs and a little blonde bob, and she had a fucking tiara on her head, and she was in this cute little dress, but it looked like she put her outfit out together by herself. Like, it didn't look like she was dressed for like anything in particular. It just looked like she was dressed up like for herself. And I could, like, you know, just like how a little kid would dress if they were putting together their own outfit. That's how she looked. But she looked cute, and she had a little purse, and she started singing like in the bathroom, and I was literally just like, she's just so damn cute, bitch. Like, I literally just wanted to cry basically. And she made me think about myself like as a younger like baby, and I was like, oh my god. And I literally just like decided, like, when I went home, I was gonna, like, the next day at work, I was gonna wear my little tiara. And I ended up getting really fucking sick the next day, like, which I was gonna actually talk about in this exact video. So I feel like this low-key ties in. Wow. Sorry, my brain is like, we've come full circle. You don't know yet, but we've come full circle. You'll find out in about 10 minutes probably. So anyway, basically, I literally was like, okay, I'm gonna wear my tiara to work the next day, because I did buy this for myself last year for my birthday, or maybe it was either this year or last year for my birthday that I had this. I'm pretty sure it was this year I bought it for my birthday, because I wore it to work. And yeah, anyway, so literally that's why I was like, oh my god, she's literally me, like literally me. But I basically was inspired by that little girl, so I just want to say thank you to that little girl for being herself, for inspiring me to be myself. It do be the little kids, you know? So basically, anyway, that next day for work, I actually ended up getting really, really sick. Like, it was like I'd been feeling a little off for a couple of days, but it was really sudden. Like, I had symptoms that were like super intense, basically very, very similar to a like a seizure. I don't know if I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Don't take any of this like as be like, oh, this is what you're struggling with, or this is what you have. Like, I don't know anything really about it. This is just like what I'm gathering, because my body is really in peak health overall. Like, I do take super good care of my body. Like, so in my mind and really in my body, like, I can feel it. It's more than me thinking it out, because I've thought about a million things, and I've gone to the doctor, but they've told me really nothing. I mean, and I know like what we're like all thinking, like, of course I didn't tell you anything, it's a doctor. And I'm like, no. But hear me out. Like, they did run tests and nothing came up. So it's like, to them it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, like, whatever. And overall, I feel like it's true. Like, I don't feel like there's anything truly wrong with my body. I feel like there's something wrong with the way I'm treating it, the way that I'm storing energy in it that needs to be expelled, essentially. And it's causing my body to stay in kind of like fight or flight mode, like all the time, like survival mode, literally constantly in survival mode. And I am always stressed out. So much so that it is a natural state of mine. I guess I was like gently explaining the way that my brain kind of works to my boyfriend the other night. And as I was explaining it to him, he kind of stopped me and was like, it sounds like you really like, you know too much, like you think too much, like it like hinders you. And I was like, man, yeah. And like I know like what we're thinking here, like, oh, my steak's too juicy, my lobster's too buttery. Like, no, but seriously guys, I really do feel like I unfortunately have a brain that works at an increasingly insane speed in which I'm able to process situations. I feel like whenever something happens, like within milliseconds, my brain has created the entire right wing of a butterfly on the effect of what this situation could do and how many different ways it could happen and like the consequences of all those things. And I know that is not exactly healthy. However, I have just always functioned that way. And it's, I know, like, what you're thinking. Okay, so just, like, don't do that. Or maybe you're not thinking that, because maybe you're just like me. In which case, I'm praying for you, bestie. We will be all right soon, okay? We will learn how to release this idea of control that we think we have, when it's actually anxiety, love. It's actually the thought of not having control that is causing that feeling. It's not the idea, it's not the fact that you do not have control, because that is true. It's just true. Like, nothing, you don't control anything. That is true. But what is also true is that what is hindering you isn't that fact, but it is the idea that you can. Because you cannot do that. But your ego is like, what was it, that quote that I just saw on, like, what, I don't even know what the show is, a girl named Ursula or whatever, I'm sure some of y'all will know what this is, where she's like, don't tell me can't because I can, and don't tell me won't because I will, or something like that. She says something like that, and I'm like, that's literally the ego, bro. Like, the ego is literally that bitch. And it's like, at times that's super helpful, but unfortunately in that situation, it's kind of detrimental. Sorry guys, this is a big topic for me. I'm low-key like having to take deep breaths. There's something I've noticed about myself. Whenever I start talking about something that I have like a hard time, kind of, it's like a hard pill to swallow for me too. I get extremely winded when I talk about it, and I think it's like a defense mechanism. My body is trying to like almost force me to stop talking about it by limiting how much. And I know what y'all are thinking, no, it's because you're talking so much, you're not taking in any oxygen. What's interesting about that, I'm actually a singer, and I have an insane ability to hold, like, I can go for a million, whatever, just not like even taking an intake of oxygen. But it's like, I know that that can reflect in my ability to speak without ever kind of breaking the sentence or stopping to breathe. But I do believe that the dizziness and the winded and the anxious feeling is all correlated to that. And it's kind of like an anxious stimuli response. I've noticed, like, when I'm talking about things like this, it kind of actually makes me nervous. You know what I mean? But hey, you know what they say, discomfort is a doorway, so we're gonna keep walking, okay? I know Source put me on this video topic for a reason, so we're gonna keep going. So I got on YouTube. Basically, really quickly, a TLDR, what makes this video so like personal for me is that day that I mentioned where I did get sick. I did get, it's only happened like that bad like one other time, and it was a couple months ago. And it basically, like, my entire like right leg was not like functional. I couldn't use it. And I rapidly lose the ability to see. Like, I get black spots really quickly, and my vision becomes like swimmy, and my hands start to tingle. And the first time I literally did lose function in my hands, and they curled up like this into my chest, and my tongue becomes numb and kind of like I don't know how to explain all that. It sounds literally crazy. It's like my brain is like, it's almost like my body is having an allergic reaction to the stress in my body. I don't know how to explain that. It's almost like my body's literally having an allergic reaction to the stress. And I thought at first that I was just like not eating the right amount of stuff, because like I unfortunately do have a pretty intense dietary restriction. Like, I am not allowed to eat a lot of things, and it's because my body cannot digest those things. But I've learned too that in this video, How Stress Affects Your Body by Sharon Horesh Bergquist. It is Bergquist at TED Ed. That is TEDED on YouTube. And just in case you want to see, I'll leave a link if I can, if I know how. I'll literally, and even so, I'll just type this in the description. So I've learned too that apparently stress can heavily affect your ability to digest things. And so I'm wondering if a couple of my allergies are from stress. So maybe one day I'll be able to have pizza again. Who knows? I love pizza, but haven't had pizza in a long time, but I love pizza. Anyway, okay, so let me log in. And it's okay that I'm all over the place. That's just who I am. But let me get back to the message. I think I just wanted to talk about pizza a little bit. I haven't had it in so long, guys. I love pizza. So maybe one day, if I like am able to be like a little stress-free, I can have a pizza slice. Okay, let's go. So anyway, I experienced kind of very seizure-like symptoms is what I recognize. Like, I don't really know. And I can't talk during those episodes either. It's like really hard to form a sentence. I kind of lose a lot of cognitive function, which is alarming because I am such an intelligent person. So when that does happen, I also get extremely freaked out and nervous and stressed out. And I think that just makes it worse, because I literally am consciously recognizing my inability to form a proper thought and to convey it to the people around me. And I'm alarmed by that enormously in those moments. And so I think it just makes the stress worse. And I am just like, you know what I'm saying? And then lack of oxygen ensues. I get close to passing out, and I do. I lose function in my body because the blood is not flowing in the proper way that it needs to. So it's going to all the major functioning organs, like my brain, my heart, my stomach, that stuff, so that I don't die. And it may not sound that serious, but unfortunately, I think it really is for the body. Like, I think after about 10 years of consistent stress, like, never stops. Like, I'm talking never stopped in the past 10 years, consistent stress, like chronic stress. It might be that serious, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess I'm going to talk about this video, and then I'll have a little bit of some thoughts at the end. And if you've stayed until this long, I really appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you're here, because this might be important for you to know as well. And if you stay to the very end, I'll just share like my personal, like my human thoughts on it, because I can sit here and be very disconnected and separated from it and speak on it in a very like theoretical and a very like spiritual, like fifth dimensional kind of quantum way. But what really is true is that I'm human and I'm actually experiencing this stuff, and it is scary. And I will talk about that at the end. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, because we will be there soon. But this is also important, I find. So basically, I'm gonna kind of read a little bit of this and then kind of like chop it up and speak to you as though I was speaking to you instead of the paper, or really myself. So fuck, man. I just saw a TED Talk video about how stress can make me sick. You know, everything he explained in the video were things I was experiencing, but had no known cause. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, I go to the doctor and they don't really find anything, and they're just like, "Sorry, dude, we don't really know what it is." Like, and I'm just like, okay, love that, you know what I'm saying? But like, they've also never said anything about like there being any like permanent damage on my arteries or anything about my blood work ever coming back anything strange. It's like always just been like, oh, you have low iron or something like that, in which I find low iron, I wonder if it's also related to stress. I feel like it could be, because you know, if the oxygen's not getting to the blood properly, it probably isn't able to also make the proper amount of iron. Somehow I feel like that's true, because doesn't iron have oxygen in it, in its atomic build? That might not be true. I might be making that part up. I'll fact check that after the video, but you'll probably never hear it from me, so you might have to look it up yourself. But anyway, so basically nothing ever came back on the lab work is all I'm saying. So everything he did explain in the video though everything he talked about in the video did kind of explain what I was experiencing. And I mean, obviously I'm not saying he diagnosed me or anything. I'm just saying, like, I was like, I mean, literally I say are very enlightening, but how do I now de-stress or relax, you know? Like, I experience irritability, and the chronic bloating, you know, I get the fatigue, and I have chronic migraines. Sorry, I felt like a little shock go through my chest, and I'm like, oh, there we go. It's in the heart chakra now, but we're gonna truck on. I have chronic migraines, you know. I'm always kind of feeling like I'm in fight or flight mode, you know, like kind of survival. And what was weird was right as I was talking about, like right as I wrote that down in my journal, I remember there was a video playing on my TV that literally said you're in survival mode like all the time. And it was just like, oh, that was really strange confirmation. Like, it was really interesting confirmation. Like, and I have felt so incredibly like unlike myself these past few days. Like, and it's normal for me to sometimes feel unlike myself. I unfortunately have BPD, but it's like it has been, I do say this like every time I experience like manic episodes and everything. Like, I'm like, I would literally like it's unlike I've ever experienced before. And I guess that is it. Like, every manic episode is unlike the one I've experienced before, because it's like, it's always, I feel like, a different aspect of myself trying to like break through the glass that is this house I'm sitting in, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this one has been crazy. Like, this one's been like, I've like, oh man, yeah. And I feel like I'm gonna have my breakthrough currently, and I mean, I like wrote in parentheses, currently having it as I write, because I'm having this is the breakthrough, right? And I said, because I've had the breakdown. I know. And then this is where it gets a little sloppy at this point. Like, even I can't really read majority of this, unfortunately, because this is where it became a channeled writing. And there's parts of this I probably can't even read to the camera, because it's like, firstly, not legible to my eyes. And secondly, a lot of it is kind of private. Like, this whole page here is not legible, and it's also private. So, I mean, some of it I can read, but for the most part, that's literally just a channeled message that my higher self wrote, and it is true, period. So I just gotta let it be, whatever it is. But the second page is just a continuation of the first channeled part. So I'll keep reading it. So I basically was asking for guidance to stop fighting my natural rhythm and to allow me to receive the help that I need, like in a very 3D way. Like, I need to not just sit here and be like, okay, like, I'm open to the help that I need. Like, I need to actually live by that. Like, I need to really, really be open to the help that I need. Like realistically, I am so independent that at this point it's screwing me more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, sometimes, like, especially when you try to be independent, but it's not within your natural rhythm at that time, you'll experience that in a real way. Like, for example, like, you can be independent in one part of your life and have, like, all of the money you ever needed. Like, you have all the emotional stability you've ever needed. But then sometimes when you try to be independent again, and it's kind of like an emotional protection scheme, you recognize that because your money's kind of down, you know, like, the people around you, like, I mean, it's not like the people around you are bad to you, but it's like you might kind of feel unseen by the people around you, but it's because you're isolating yourself, etc., this and that, right? Just saw the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie, by the way. There's like a huge message centered around like isolating yourself, like the stress that comes with that. Like, humans are not meant to do it alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, fuck. Like, we are not meant to do it alone, okay? But I said, I am so nervous to imagine not taking control. But what I mean there is, I guess, I'm not having control, because I don't actually have control and I don't actually take control. But in my mind, the little human things that I do to make situations work for me in that direct moment, like the physical, tangible changes and evidence, you know, I'm not, that is facts, brother. That allowed me to have control. It didn't. It didn't. My anxiety forced me to alter that 3D thing instead of just observing it and letting it happen. My anxiety caused me to change that thing, to brace myself essentially for the events that would happen next. And therefore it gave me an outcome I expected or was prepared for. However, the outcome in which I didn't interfere, I wasn't prepared for. How about I just try to not interfere? How hard is that? Very hard. I will figure it out, though. There's not many things in this world that I don't figure out eventually. Except for the mysteries of the universe. I will figure those out eventually. Here we go. Anyway. I know what I need, and what you will deliver unto me is great peace. So that's true. What is peaceful is things that work out for me that I don't have to think about. That's peaceful. And I would like for that to be everything all the time. You know, not in a way that's like, oh, I get to literally float through life farting on a cloud. No, like, I'm talking like I get to wake up at whatever time I want, not worrying about what I have to do that day. Like, I can go make myself a meal and intend to go to the gym and it not be a stressful, like, can I cram this in my schedule situation? Like, I want to be able to eat normal meals and not worry about if I can afford them, or like, how can I ration this one meal to last an entire week? Like, that's like no way to live. Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not laughing at myself. Like, I'm just laughing at like the ludicrous, how would you say? How ludicrous that is. Like, that's just crazy. Like, that's literally insane that somebody would have to live like that. And I know there are people who do have it entirely worse. Like, I literally was laying in my bed last night thinking, I'm so grateful that I can go to bed without like me or my family being like in immediate danger at all times. Like, this is literally a blessing to just be able to just go to my bed at night and just sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just grateful for that. And like, I even struggle to sleep sometimes, but I'm grateful that I have the like bed and the sanctuary to do so, if that makes sense. Like, really the chaos is in my mind, not in the 3D. So I give you my worries, my insecurities, my wonders, everything. I trust you to do exactly what I need. I need peace, source, and I pray you find me. I am not lost, though I pray you find me. Please give me all that I need, as it is necessary. Yeah, so when I said that, I meant like, I guess, fuck, you know what, and I even struggle, when I'm even talking to my guides who I know are limitless and have no bounds, like, and I have no credit card, and everything is just, like, free for them, like, I'm like, as it's necessary, though, like, you don't have to do too much, like, you don't have to give me too much, like, baddie. Inherently, you are speaking to no one with a physical face or a tangible body. And you are still afraid. Like, it's almost like I'm speaking to Santa Claus and I'm telling him, but don't worry though, like if you don't have that toy this year, like it's completely okay if you skip my house. Like, what is going on? Like, firstly, I don't imagine my guides as Santa Claus. I very much believe in the power of my guides, very much believe in the power of the universe, very much in tune and intuitively guided by all of this, all of that, all of this shmee. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, I gotta laugh a little bit at myself sometimes, because it's like, I mean, essentially, I am writing a letter to Santa Claus, and I am scared to ask for what I want. Fuck. Like, let me level the playing field for you. I never really got anything as a kid, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because what I did have was myself, my siblings, and a bunch of really great memories that I got to make. And we played Left 4 Dead a lot, and that was fun. So basically my message here is like, I'm trying to reclaim the fun in my life. And this isn't where the personal message and the humanness starts, by the way. I'm trying to like find the fun in my life again. I realized my depression was getting kind of bad. And my stress got so bad that it's starting to affect my health. And the scary part about that is I don't know how to like help it. Like, I don't know how to remove myself from the stressors that I experience every day. Like, it's literally just like work. I have a hard time even finding the joy to go to the gym anymore. Like, a lot of the time I'm really exhausted, and it's because I'm constantly in that mode, you know? And then it's like I get these random bursts of like energy throughout the day, and it's like, obviously, I know that is sometimes influenced by my BPD, like that random adrenaline hit. And weirdly enough, I did have some strange dreams, and after I watched that video on YouTube as well, it mentioned like how apparently like stress for a long time can cause insulin resistance. And in my dream last night, I literally, what the fuck? I mean, I know you're like, I didn't do it, but like basically what I'm sharing with you is like, in my dream last night, I was in a completely white room. And it was me and semantics, right? I'm not going to really go into the like gory details of the dream, but really what was super important was I was in this completely white room. They had put something over my eyes, and it was like, it wasn't like a blindfold. It was literally just like they smeared something on my eyes. I don't know how to explain that. Smeared something on my eyes, okay? Anyway. Sorry if that was scary. I hope that didn't freak you out. But anyway, they smeared something on my eyes, and then they basically put me in this room, and then a voice over the whatever said insulin distributed. And then our bodies, like the room we were all in, started lowering, and we were being slowly submerged in this white liquid. And it didn't like go, it went only to like to here. It didn't go like, it wasn't gonna kill us or nothing. And we were all like, it seemed as though we were all expecting it, but I started freaking out, and I was like, wait guys, I can't see guys. Wait, is it normal to not be able to see? Like, should this stuff be on our eyes? And I started panicking because it's like my ability to see was gone, but I feel like the insulin distribution from whatever source was like, I mean, I know insulin is technically sugar, right? Like, I mean, not sugar literally, it's like glucose. But I feel like my stress buildup caused an insulin resistance. I mean, based off of what I'm gathering, that could have caused an insulin resistance in my dream also. I feel like I'm getting a little carried away. Basically, let me gather my thoughts. I had a very interesting dream the night before I've seen this video. And as it occurred to me, as I was watching the video, what he said about insulin resistance, then the dream that I've had just the night before. As mind you, the night before, I did ask my body what it would like me to know. If there was anything I could do for it, what would it like me to know? And it was after I'd just seen another TED Talk video just yesterday about how the body, it wasn't literally called The Body Keeps the Score, but it was something along those lines. And basically your body, how it really does keep the score. Like, you forget and you pretend, but your body does not. It like holds on to that. It retains all of that energy and those emotions that you didn't properly convey and like express, right? And then they build up into physical illnesses. So mine was in the form of stress. Like, I feel like I'm actually always so stressed, ho. yeah, I power through it and I pretend a lot, but damn bitch, I'm all the time so fucking freaked out. Sensitive girly syndrome. That's not real. That's not real. That's not real. Okay, that's something I just made up right now. I'm rich. Just wanted to say it. Manifesting. I'm rich. Woohoo! We're all rich, all of us. Abundant. But I just want to tell y'all about all that stuff. And that was 30 minutes with me telling you about stuff that I learned. And basically, if y'all guys have any recommendations on like how to de-stress when you're also like depressed, you know, like I go outside. I was gonna go to the gym earlier today. I literally drove all the way to the gym and the gym was closed, so I felt that it was source redirecting me to go home. I instead made myself some enchiladas that will have to last me the whole week. We do what we can. Any tips? Any tips would be helpful. I love you guys. Let me know what y'all thought of this content. Let me know what y'all thought of this topic. If y'all want to hear me talk about more things like this, like physical things on a quantum level, things that I interpret. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a physicist. I'm not a quantum physicist. I know nothing about these things on a scholarly level. These are all just intuitive things and all just messages I receive as I talk about them. Just things that I believe would make sense. So, love you guys. And I hope you enjoyed my yap sesh. It's been Yevich Dowdy and Finn and Princess Bubblegum. And I think you can see Lady and BMO as well. So, bye guys.